So I get notified in the, by YouTube of videos that might interest me. So apparently in the financial district of New York, there was an axe attack, right? And what's humorous about this is the video was an Inside Edition video, and they're like, it happens all the time. You're inside the bank. Yes, we all get attacked by axe-wielding maniacs in the bank. That's just what happens every day. I know that happens to all of us. Now, what is funny is I actually was attacked by somebody at an ATM in my neighborhood, and what I did, luckily, they came up to me before I got the money out and before my hands were tied up. And what I did is I saw them walking up, and I got my card back. And when they came up to me, where it was, there's steps. It's an outside area. It's not, luckily, it wasn't inside a vestibule or something like that. And I simply grabbed him and shoved him down and basically stepped over him, got in my car, and went away. And I did notify people, but nobody really could find anything, yada, yada, yada. That's how it always is. You know what I mean? That's always how it is. But my point is this is the kind of things that happen as we become more diversified. So expect this to happen more often as things get more diversified. Okay? So my point is, what I thought was so humorous about this, a lot of people that try to insult me, try to insult my martial arts ability. And this is a talking head channel. What do I mean by that? It's me talking. I'm talking to you. There's nobody else is taking pictures. I take this on my cell phone. I don't even use a camera or professional audio equipment or anything like that. I don't even own a computer. Okay? So it's me talking into the camera of my cell phone. But I have been actually somewhat tempted seeing the crazy nonsense that is put forth on the internet, especially YouTube, as martial arts instruction. I have been thoroughly tempted to make a YouTube channel that does have me teaching martial arts to the public. The problem is the liability is very great. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is I don't really know anybody anymore. I'm not involved in any martial arts classes anymore. I don't have anybody to demonstrate martial arts with, nor do I have a camera person to show how to perform these techniques and things like that. But it was funny because the gentleman, mind you, the chances of you being attacked by a hatchet-wielding maniac probably aren't really that great compared to somebody carrying a knife or a gun or something like that. However, the techniques that he showed might work if you're built like King Kong, and this was always one of my problems even when I taught martial arts. A lot of the techniques that we teach in martial arts don't really work unless you're a strong person, an athletically competent person. And the problem is a lot of people aren't, including a lot of martial artists, are not athletically competent, are not strong enough to execute these techniques in real life against an opponent that is resisting. The techniques do work. Like, this is the thing that people will say, that don't ever work, that don't ever work, that don't ever work. They do work. The techniques do work if they are applied competently by a competent person. The problem is a competent technique cannot work if it is applied by an incompetent person. And a lot of the competency in martial arts comes from physical conditioning. So what the guy says actually does make sense if you're attacked by a hatchet-wielding maniac or a club-wielding maniac or somebody that swings a knife at you like that. What he says to do could work, not, well, with the knife you would have to control lower down. But my point is, A, the chances that you're going to be attacked by a hatchet-wielding maniac are rare, but it would work against a hammer. It would work against a club or a baseball bat, but with a baseball bat, you have to close. That's the thing, is you got to close that gap. The other thing is, he's telling you to kick, knee, run away. Okay, this isn't jazzercise. This is self-defense. And a lot of these people, like even good martial artists like Ramsey Dewey and Icy Mike from Hard to Hurt, they don't like people like me that do tell people to gouge people's eyes and rip their throats out and things, and grab their ear, rip their ear off, grab their hair to control the head, things like this. They don't like things like that. They think that, well, only thing that works is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Everybody needs to go out and learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Apparently karate, which has been taught for hundreds of years, karate stopped working. Apparently you can't gouge people in the eyes anymore. You can't rip their goddamn nose apart. You can't rip their lips apart. You can't grab their ears and twist their ears. Apparently that doesn't work anymore. You can't tear somebody's throat out. Apparently these things do not work anymore. And I want to be mindful. I'm not encouraging people to go commit violence. I'm talking about self-defense situations in this sense. So when people are saying, oh, if you should learn more than to poke somebody in the eye, you really should. You should learn more to poke somebody in the eye, but a lot of that does come down to physical competency. Okay? Regardless of whether you poke somebody in the eye or not, and I do think eye gouging is a great equalizer. This is what we teach our military. Don't forget, we teach our military to gouge eyes, to attack the throat, to attack the ears, to attack the lips, to attack the nose, okay, to attack the eyes, the kidneys, the vital areas of the body. This is what we teach our military in the United States. This stuff does work. It works well enough to use it in combat. I think it works well enough to use it if you're confronted by somebody that is trying to rob you. Okay? So my point is that a lot of people, the problem is this gentleman that's teaching this woman to close the gap, control the shoulder, knee, kick, knee, whatever, and get out. Jazzercise is not going to work in a self-defense situation. You need to get your hands dirty. Okay? And by dirty, I mean it's going to get nasty, it's going to get gory, it's going to get disgusting. Okay? And that's the thing, is people that don't know what it's like to fight like that and are not physically, like for example, when he shows her how to close the gap and control the shoulder, control the axe wielding arm, she's not strong enough to control an attacker's arm. She's just not. That's not going to happen. So what she can do is go right for the kill. That's what would be more effective. Now, she should try and control the arm somewhat, but you attack back. And again, this is not a self-defense video or anything like that. I'm just explaining this is the craziness that's going on in reality now in the United States. And I think it's outrageous that this is not a YouTube video either. This is Inside Edition telling people to do this. Now, what would my recommendation be for self-defense? Now, I made a video, and I'm going to leave it in the description, called Bodybuilding is the Best Form of Self-Defense. Now, some people that took up bodybuilding for self-defense include Charles Atlas, include Joe Weider, include Frank Zane, include a lot of people that took up bodybuilding for self-defense purposes because they were tired of being picked on by bigger people. And it worked. Okay? So, first and foremost, you should go to a gym or you should buy a weight set and you should do calisthenics like chin-ups, pull-ups, push-ups, etc. And you should start making yourself stronger. That comes before anything else. Make yourself stronger, make yourself healthier, make yourself better at learning and implementing methods of counterattack. Because no matter what you know, it's probably not going to work if you're a weakling. You don't necessarily have to be stronger than your attacker, but you have to be strong enough to competently apply the technique. Okay? And that's the thing, is like Joe Rogan said in the one video where he says, I think that's actually why I made that video, where he says the best martial arts are martial arts that work against martial artists. Yes. Yes, and how do martial artists that compete against martial artists train? They lift weights, they run, they work on their endurance, they work on their strength, they work on their conditioning, they work on their athletic competency. Okay? That comes before anything else. I might leave some links to how Muay Thai fighters train and how boxers train and things like that. The best martial arts are the ones that work against martial artists. That's true. Karate is a martial art. Karate does involve grabbing the hair, grabbing the ears, grabbing the nose, grabbing the lips, grabbing the throat. Really doing techniques that are going to basically disfigure and violently settle a situation. And a lot of people aren't capable of grasping the fact that even if they take karate, even if they take boxing, even if they take judo or jujitsu or all this other stuff, you're probably in a life or death situation. That stuff might not work as well as doing what you need to do to get out of there and getting out of there. And again, this video is not at all to promote violence. I'm not promoting violence. I don't practice any type of violence anymore. I don't even teach martial arts anymore. I don't practice martial arts anymore. It's just the stuff that is being promoted as effective on the internet by people that are actually supposed to know what they're doing, and the stuff that is being downplayed by people like professional martial artists. It's sad. It's sad that people are saying this can't work and that can't work. A lot of the techniques that people are doing are done badly, and then of course it doesn't work if it's done badly. Okay? If you're just choppily going through the movements, of course it's not going to work. Okay? And yes, a lot of the self-defense techniques are not meant to work against a trained martial artist, but they do work against trained soldiers in the field. That's why we teach our military how to do it. So you have to also come to the conclusion, what is a martial artist? Okay, a lot of the techniques, when people complain, oh, well, you keep saying that you can't do this in the ring and that's why it don't work, and da-da-da. Yes, that is true. You can't. For example, if somebody throws a punch at me and I dodge the punch and stick my thumbs in their eyes, I'm not going to win that match. I might disable the attacker, but I'm not going to win the match in a ring. And people go, well, you couldn't do that anyway. Yeah, I probably could, especially if I got back into training. It's probably not that hard, even with a Muay Thai fighter or something like that. I have trained with people that know how to fight. It's not that hard to position your body to counterattack in ways that allow you to do things like that. The point is, you can't do that in MMA, you can't do that in Muay Thai, you can't do that in a lot of these systems of ring combat, or judo, or jujitsu, or any of these things. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be trying to learn judo or jujitsu. Keep in mind, I learned traditional karate. I learned traditional Japanese jujitsu for a time. I learned I learned Hapkido for a time. I learned martial arts that are martial arts. These are legit martial arts meant to be used against other martial artists, either in a ring or, in the case of karate and Hapkido, they're meant primarily as a form of self-defense. Ultimately, I guess what I'm saying, and the link will be at the top of the description, ultimately what I'm trying to explain is what is being promoted as self-defense on the internet, a lot of it is going to get people hurt or killed. It is just crazy, the stuff that people are being, that absorb a lot of these, like, Paul Vunak videos and a lot of these straight-to-DVD training seminars and things like this. People that have not taken martial arts under an actual martial arts instructor, under an actual coach, and learned how to move their body properly, are probably not going to be able to execute the techniques properly. If you're weak, learning the techniques does not make you strong. If you are weak, and inflexible and not talented athletically, and you can make yourself talented athletically. That's not necessarily a natural gift. You can condition yourself. That's why people condition themselves. Even people that are genetically talented condition themselves. Okay, and the reason why is because in order to be athletically competent, you need to condition yourself. And you can make yourself more athletically competent and more capable of defending yourself by being more athletically competent. Learning a technique is not the execution of a technique in real life. There's a huge difference. A lot of techniques, like I did a video about this too, a lot of martial artists, they wonder, how can so many people be so good at karate and suck so bad at fighting? Well, the reason why is, like I said, there's a lot that goes into karate that has nothing to do with fighting. And you can execute techniques with precision without having the power behind the technique or the ability to follow through with the technique, etc., that make the technique not as effective in real life. And that's all for this video.